In the earlier video, we discussed about what is a reversible process and we talked about what makes the process irreversible. So we'll continue with this video. Just quick review of what we had done. The objective is, as I said, we need to be clear about the concepts of what is a reversible process and what is an irreversible process. We talked about what is a reversible process. We emphasize the fact that a reversible process is a process that can be reversed without leaving any trace. And we highlighted this fact that a reversible process is not any process which can be reversed. It is a process which can be reversed without leaving any trace. We talked about two important things which make the process irreversible. One is we said that whenever there is a heat transfer through a finite temperature difference, that makes the process as an irreversible process. And we said that a friction is a phenomena that makes the process irreversible. Another example of a famous example of irreversible process which we discussed was free expansion, meaning that expansion against vacuum. Okay. Now, so now it is clear to us that these are the factors which make the process irreversible. Which are those? One is the heat transfer through a finite temperature difference. Other is if the process is carried out extremely fast, right? Whether it is a heat addition process, a compression phenomena, expansion process phenomena. If it is carried out faster, that makes the process as irreversible. Free expansion would also make the process irreversible. And if there is a friction associated with the process, that makes the process irreversible, right? One more thing we can add is, which is not our concern today, but chemical reactions also would make the process irreversible. So these are the factors which would make the process irreversible. And once we know that these are the factors which make the process irreversible, as an engineer, as a person who would be concerned about improving the efficiency of the thermal systems, we would be interested in knowing how do we make the process reversible. Okay. So in order to make the process reversible, we need to ensure that the heat transfer is reversible. Now, what do you understand by a reversible heat transfer? So a reversible heat transfer means that there is a heat transfer between the two bodies whose temperature difference is negligibly small. Okay, it means that let us say that there is a body A whose temperature is 30. So the other body would have a temperature of 29.999999999. Okay, it means that the temperature difference between the two is negligibly small. Okay, infinitesimally small is the term which is used, okay, to denote that the temperature difference is small. And you need to understand that because we said that the finite temperature difference is going to make the process irreversible. So in order to make the process reversible, we need to reduce that finite temperature difference to an infinitesimally small temperature difference, right? Similarly, we said that if the process is carried out faster, then what happens is that the system would deviate from thermodynamic equilibrium. And when the system deviates from thermodynamic equilibrium, the process becomes irreversible. So if you want to ensure that the process is reversible, then we need to ensure that the process is carried out extremely slowly, such that each and every state between the initial state and final state is in thermodynamic equilibrium. Okay, so the process is in a way a quasi-static process. So if you want to carry out a reversible process, then essentially that process has to be quasi-static. Okay, quasi-equilibrium or quasi-static. And third thing, which is very important, is that we should attempt to make the friction as minimal as possible. So if you want to tend towards the reversibility, which is an ideal, which is a goal, okay, then we need to ensure that these three things are taken care of. That is, the heat transfer difference is infinitesimally small, the process is carried out quasi-statically, and there is no friction. A very important concept in reversibility is what is called as internally reversible process and what is called as externally reversible process. So we know that in thermodynamics, we deal with the system surrounding approach. Okay. So by internally reversible process, we say that within the system there is no irreversibility. Okay, so by internally reversible process, we concentrate our attention within the system boundary and see whether there is any irreversibility. So if you see that within the system boundary, if there is no irreversibility, then we would say that the process is internally reversible. I hope this is very clear to you that the process is internally reversible if there is no irreversibilities within the system boundary. So there could be irreversibilities across the system boundary, but nevertheless, that can be an internally reversible process. So an example is given here about how to visualize the internal reversible process. So we can assume that a water is boiling. Okay, we know that when the water boils, that there is a change of phase from liquid to vapor. Okay, and this can happen extremely slowly. Okay, this can happen extremely slowly, and there is no temperature difference within the liquid water and water vapor. Okay, because there is a phase change. You know that phase change happens at a constant temperature. So within that system comprising of water and vapor, okay, the temperature difference is zero. In this case, if it is atmospheric pressure, the temperature would be 100 degrees centigrade and temperature difference would be zero. So it would be a uniform temperature, and because it is a uniform temperature, we would say that the process which is happening, right, that could be an internally reversible process. But now, why is that water boiling? If the water is boiling because of certain heat which is being supplied from outside, and if that hot gases, let us say, which are giving this heat to this water to make it boil, if this hot water are at a temperature of, let us say, 500 degrees centigrade. So what it means? It means that between the system and the surrounding, the temperature difference is 500 minus 100, which is 400 degrees centigrade. So there is a finite temperature difference. So there is a finite temperature difference across the system boundary. It means that that system is experiencing external irreversibility. However, the process is internally reversible. So this has to be very clear to us that the process could be internally reversible, but simultaneously it could be externally irreversible. So externally reversible process means even outside the system boundary, there should be no irreversibility. Okay. So when you are talking about external reversible process, we say that there is no irreversibility across the system boundary, right? And this can happen, for example, when the temperature outside and the temperature inside is almost the same. Okay. So when you are having the outside surface of the system as the same temperature as that of the source, for example, when there is heat being supplied, right, the source is, let us say, at 500, and let us say that the water is also at 500 almost, then we would say that it is an externally reversible process. Or when there is a heat rejection, for example, and we would say that the working fluid is at 25 degrees centigrade and the surrounding is also almost at 25 degrees centigrade, then we would be saying that it is a externally reversible process. Okay. So this example would make us clear that what is a totally reversible process and what is a internally reversible process. So in this internally reversible process, this water, for example, is at 20 degrees centigrade and the surrounding which is giving the heat to it is at 30 degrees centigrade. It means that there is a finite temperature difference. Delta T is 10 degrees centigrade. That makes it externally irreversible because that temperature difference is 10 degrees centigrade. That makes it externally irreversible but internally reversible. And in this case A, what you say is that even the outside temperature is almost the same as the inside temperature. So the outside temperature is 20.000 almost, and inside temperature is 20. It means that this temperature difference is infinitesimally small, and that makes the process reversible even externally. And when it is externally reversible as well as internally reversible, that makes it totally reversible. Okay, so this has to be clearly understood, right? A last concept is to differentiate between a reversible process and quasi-static process. Okay, so we need to understand that a reversible process has to be quasi-static. It has to be carried out extremely slowly. But let us imagine a process which is carried out extremely slowly, which is quasi-static. However, it is associated with friction. So in that case, there would be dissipation of energy. And in that case, the initial state cannot be regained without expending certain work. Okay. So if you want to get back to the initial state, when there is a quasi-static irreversible process, then some external work has to be done for regaining that initial state. And when something has to be externally supplied, then it means that that process, though it is quasi-static, that would be a irreversible process. So essentially, for the process to be a reversible process, it has to be carried out extremely slowly. It has to be quasi-static, but not all the quasi-static processes are reversible. There could be processes where they are quasi-static but irreversible. So with this, I suppose that you have now understood the concept of reversible process, irreversible process, and the difference between quasi-static and reversible process very clearly. As an assignment, I would want you to think about what is a reversible cycle, what is a totally reversible cycle, and what is a internally reversible cycle. Thank you very much. Bye.